All right. So they say that the former hotel security invokes the Fifth Amendment ahead of testimony later today. So that means the only reason they're invoking their Fifth Amendment is they must be incriminating themselves, but it's still federal court. So you don't have to incriminate yourself, but you still got to tell us what you know. So the prosecution brought back Eddie Garcia, the former security at the Intercontinental Hotel, to invoke his Fifth Amendment right to not incriminate himself before the jury entered the courtroom this morning. The judge said Friday he signed an immunity order compelling Garcia to testify. That's what I was just saying. In the federal court, it don't matter. You ain't got to tell on yourself, but you're going to tell us what you know. The former Intercontinental employee is expected to testify later today, but maybe he took the bribe money, you know what I mean, and didn't say nothing. Dirty game, but hey, man, it's the feds. Defense attorney asked Mia about her resume. The defense attorney, Brian Steele, is going through a resume of a former assistant for Diddy, created before she began working for the music mogul. The resume she provided round the clock support to Michael Myers when she was an assistant from 2008 to 2009. Brian Steele pointed out that the resume said that she has thick skin. Well, I thought I did, Mia responded. What up, Winter? Uh, Diddy's former assistant said Puff used to be my protector. The defense team is going through text messages between Diddy and Mia in 2018, where Mia texted Diddy during Christmas and New Year's holidays. She said, "Merry Christmas, love you so much." Mia wrote in the text. Um, she had just been, she had just seen Diddy at Kim Porter's funeral. Kim Porter shares 3 kids with Diddy, died in November 2018. A few weeks later, on January 15, 2019, Mia did text Diddy that said she was thinking about him because she had a nightmare that she was trapped in an elevator with R. Kelly and Diddy saved her, according to the message. In March of 2019, Mia texted Diddy saying she was sending him all the love in the world. That's a weird ass dream to have. You in the elevator with R. Kelly and Diddy is the nigga that comes to get you. Those are the industry nightmares none of us want. You in there trying to get out of there, R. Kelly in there acting weird, and then you got another weirdo coming and get you up out of there. Yeah, that's a weird ass dream. Hey, Diddy. Yeah, I had a dream. R. Kelly was on the elevator with me. We was going to the 16th floor. You know, they said R. Kelly liked me young. But yeah, that's different. Blah, 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 blah. Brian Steele also asked Mia if she was still under Combs' grip at the time, since she wasn't working for him anymore. She said that she was psychologically. Also, Diddy used to be my protector, she testified, referring to Combs by his nickname. Also, these were based around the tragic events that happened in his life, Mia added, pointing out that there were checks sent within a few months of Kim's death. Mia also texted Diddy in 2019 in December, writing that she was sending love to him and his family. She testified she sent the message on Kim's birthday. Diddy's ex-assistant says she filmed him as a part of her job. Mia also testified that Diddy required her to carry around a pocket video camera to record him before he hired full-time videographers. Brian Steele also asked Mia if she had any of the videos of Combs berating her or any of him in a moment of rage. Absolutely not, Mia testified. No, I would have not been allowed to film that. I was filming whatever he wanted me to film. Filming Diddy in a moment of rage would have been a huge break of trust, loyalty, and confidentiality. Uh, she said she didn't tell anyone about the abuse from Diddy at the time. She said if she told anyone about the abuse, she said she would endure it from Diddy while it was happening. Do you have anything um, where you wrote a friend or family member, police officer, anything and said, "This is what's going on. I'm being assaulted, berated, anything"? No. Only time I reached out for help was very subtle to people in the office, but not disclosing things that other people hadn't witnessed. Brian still went on and asked Mia in a text message shown today, including instances where she sent them holiday greetings, said, "Love you," demonstrate almost a loving relationship. I'm sending him support, love, yes. So Brian's still basically saying, well, you ain't say nothing, and you got all these stories today, but ain't no one else heard none of these stories. We don't believe you. You need more people. Let me see. Nobody around batted an eye when Diddy misbehaved. Mia said that nobody around batted an eye when Diddy was misbehaving. He was still praised by everyone in his circle and in public. I always constantly seek for his approval. He was my authority figure and my only authority figure. Jeez Louise. Okay, we're almost up. We only got 2 more updates, and then we're back to where we need to be. Mia also says his threats made her internalize blame and shame. Oh my goodness, it's the same thing over and over. What happened between himself and Mia, which made Mia internalize blame and shame? Mia has been testifying about the violence and abuse, verbal, physical, and X. She also shared her experience while being employed by Diddy. Nobody acted like what he was doing was wrong, and his threats about me was going to tell Cassie what happened about me made me internalize blame and shame. Defense attorney Brian still asked Mia why she didn't want Diddy to tell Cassie that he actually assaulted her. She didn't use those words. He threatened to tell Cassie, quote unquote, everything, which made me feel like I had to do something. And it felt like I was doing something wrong. I don't know how to explain that, but a person, she testified. All right. Court takes a short break. All right. Jury sees a video from Mia and Diddy on the 44th birthday. The jury sees a video of Diddy's 44th birthday party in 2013. Mia is sitting at a desk in a video and tells Diddy she was blessed to call him a friend and thanked him for being the biggest inspiration in her life. I love you. Happy birthday. Blowing a kiss. Mwah. The judge allowed the video clip to be shown over objections from the prosecutor. So they over there, objection, Your Honor. Defense attorney Shapiro said Monday morning that the video supports the defense argument that Mia is presenting a false persona to the jury. And they're on a break. So, all right. What up, Moochie? I got us caught up. Oh, my goodness. I got us caught up here. Let me see what we got on. Yeah, if y'all ain't see, Ukraine was going crazy this weekend. All right, so it said they took a break. All right, so here's Sarah. Here go the video here.
Shameless plug. Gotta put my lip gloss on.
What the hell is this? Is it the birthday video that they just showed in court?
Shameless plug. Gotta put my lip gloss on. Poppin'! Puff Daddy, the living legend himself. You have not only revolutionized the game, but the entire world. I'm so blessed to call you my friend. Thank you for truly being one of the biggest inspirations in my life. To another 44 years of brilliance. Let's fuck shit up. I love you. Happy birthday. Revolt.
They showed this in court, man. Like, Shit, I knew I closed all of it. Hold on. Even though I'm real shy. What up, Kendall? All right, so we're all caught up. He said he's gonna have her on the stand to at least lunch. So we got at least an hour with her back up on the stand. Let me find out where exactly we are on Inner City Press, and then we'll continue on. 54 minutes ago. Run down this thread real quick. 57, 55. Um, so that's okay. Went to the break. All right, here we go. So now they're back here. All right. So at least we're all caught up. Yeah. I mean, this whole case, it's like it's gonna be the same thing over and over. I don't know. This isn't. This still isn't defending anything. Still isn't defending anything. Yes, she made a happy birthday video, but you didn't defend Diddy X wording her on the plane. You didn't defend Diddy going into the closet and putting his thing in her mouth. You didn't defend you on the plane, in the closet, on the bunk bed. It's like, okay, you're just showing that she was cool with Diddy, but you're not defending hiring the prostitutes, the assaults, the not paying her. You're not. There's still a Rico there. You know, you still got to defend all of those, but all you're doing is showing us that she was cool with Diddy. We know she was cool with Diddy. Hell, we knew that him and Cassie, they were out and about movie premieres, but we also seen the video. So you gotta defend the actions. We don't, you know what I mean? You gotta defend the actions. So yeah, I mean, I guess you can keep showing, oh no, you like Diddy, you say that you loved him, but hell, we know Cassie was saying that she loved Diddy, but she was also getting the hell beat out of her. She was also getting kidnapped. You see what I'm saying? So you didn't defend Diddy not being at the house when we had the police come over here last week and say that they ran the license plates and it was Bad Boy. You're not defending that breaking it in, that intimidation there. You're not like, what are you defending? I mean, yeah, I mean, he's doing a good job at making the witness look bad, but it's not defending anything. At the end, when they read off, you guys heard a lot of testimony from everybody, but it's the juror's job to determine if one of these crimes were committed by Diddy. You're not here saying were they in a good relationship or a bad relationship. You're here to determine did they commit two counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Was there two counts of ex trafficking, which under the law are this, and this? And up under the RICO, was there drug distribution? Was there guns? Was there intimidation? Was there extortion? That's what the jury is judging off of. They're not going to be going when they're deliberating and saying that, hey, they had a good relationship with each other. That's not what he's on trial for. We're not on trial for someone to say that they love Diddy. We're not on trial for someone to say that Diddy's a bad guy. We're on trial because Diddy has these 5 charges, and we got to prove 2 of them up under the 8 in the RICO. So just because someone made a video, oh, thanks. What are you defending? You know what I mean? So that's why, I mean, I still want to see what the defense is going to do, and that's what we're about to follow through. But when are they going to defend the crime? Exactly, Maurice. Diddy did what he did, and they stuck around. But how can you defend what your client has done? They stuck around. That is what it is. You know, every single day, people get mistreated at work, but they stick around because they need to pay their bills. Every single day, someone is getting treated bad by somebody, but they stick around for whatever reason. But we're not on trial for why did they stick around? Why did they do what they did? We're here because of what this guy did, not what anybody else did. You see what I'm saying? That's like when I was in the military and they would tell me that I had to cancel my leave on the weekend. Why didn't I just get out the military? Because I would go to jail. That would be my consequence. So when we're saying, why didn't they leave when Diddy slapped them or actually assaulted them? Because the consequence would be security will come and get you and whoop your ass, but you still need to pay your bills. So everybody, no matter who you are, you are not treated fairly every single day, but you stick around for whatever reason. But we're not here for why they stuck around. We're here because of what he did. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, she could say I love you all you want, but we not here because she loved Diddy. All right, they're back. Until now, this is State's attorney. Until now, they have been ejecting the exhibits and turning over private correspondence of this witness. We have now said through hours of humiliating cross, Mr. Steele has insulted this witness, saying things like "God forbid" after things she said. So this is them talking to the judge about Brian Steele, everything that I was just basically laying out. Like, okay, you're trying to humiliate them, but that's not what we're here for. So the judge is probably going to interject and say, you need to be asking questions about the case. Like, okay, you're humiliating her, but we're not here because of the love of Mia. So all of this is really, yeah, I mean, you want the jury to hear, oh, she was sticking around, blah, 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 but that's not what we're here for. So it's like the more you humiliate her, the less you're talking about the actual trial. But all right, one by one, Your Honor, uh, let the exhibit in. But now, cumulatively, we have reached harassment. Given the tone, we do not think continuing this is appropriate. She has carried herself with grace. This is adding to trauma. Eyes on this trial. Other victims in other trials will become aware of this. Judge, I have not seen yelling. My understanding is that his God forbid is an apology, not an attempt to intimidate. But the argumentative questions is still here. You're repeating yourself. If I feel you're asking questions just to ask them, I'm going to tell you to move on. Understood. Brian still said, I understand. The judge said, I don't see improper treatment here, Miss Comey, but I will continue to watch. Yeah, I'm seeing, yeah, it's nothing bad, but it's like, all right, we're not really defending nothing. But, the state got to try to do what they can for their witness. Judge, can I see them? The state said, we don't have stamped versions of these. Do you have the photos? Yes, but we won't know which one you're referring to. Judge, Mr. Steele, why don't they have stamped copies of these? Only saw this morning. So again, the defense is behind. They don't have anything stamped so we can know what order or what exhibits we're actually looking at. Judge said, just show them to me one by one. Next. Mr. Steele, what is the relevance? Mr. Steele said impeachment. She said she had no time for herself to tell others. These images show Mia with friends and family over the year. All right, so let me see. So Brian Steele was saying, why didn't you tell anybody you did have free time to yourself, but why didn't you write it down? Every time you had a free moment, why didn't you write it down? Why didn't you tell somebody? That's what Brian Steele is getting at. But that's what we want from the defense. We want them to be aggressive, but we also want them to defend something. So the tactic he's taking is, well, since you didn't tell nobody, it didn't happen. And if it was that bad, you should have told somebody. Still is Brian Still, the defense attorney. The one that was in Young Thug's case. We got anything over here on CNN? Nah, because it looks like this is just a back and forth. So I guess they'll give us an update on that in a second. All right, just show me these one by one. I don't know why the computer doesn't be updating as fast as the damn phone does, but all right. The judge said, why would baby showers have relevance? Why not just ask questions about this? Why show these? Brian Steele said, because I like to do the impeachment that way. The judge said, absent any further showing, they are excluded. Admit them to the record. No. That's why I'm the judge. What are we doing here? What are you showing the baby shower for? Is that defending Diddy? Or is this baby shower just her sitting around at a baby shower? We're not here for her not telling nobody. She's here on the stand telling what happened. Defend it, Brian Steele. He's trying to show baby shower photos. Here they are at a baby shower. All these people here. So she just at the baby shower. Hey, you know what? Did I tell you that Diddy R-word me on the plane? Also, did I tell you? Oh, yeah, we're about to do the baby game. Okay, is it a boy or is it a girl? Oh, did I also tell you that Diddy came into the closet and put his wee-wee in my mouth? Like, so she just at the baby shower. Brian still expects her to just start telling everybody, this is what happened to me. This is what happened to me. Brian's still gonna say, you want me to admit the baby shower photos to the record? The judge said no. What does that got to do with the case? What is going on here? Yeah, see, here you are at the baby shower holding this baby. Why don't you tell this baby? Whose baby is this? Like, this is what we're doing. What is this? We up here for Diddy. I can see, all right, maybe like she did something at the baby shower, but you had all this free time. Why you didn't tell nobody? Oh yeah, the other day we was on a trip. I forgot to tell y'all. We was on a trip and I was laying on a hammock and Diddy hit me upside the head with an ice bucket. You see the man? What are we talking about? Let me read what we got. Prosecutor Comey accused defense attorney Brian Steele harassing and humiliating Mia on the stand, yelling with yelling, sarcastic, argumentative questioning. Comey also said that a dozen of social media posts Steele has compelled Mia to discuss her cumulative and have nothing to do with her credibility. The judge said he hasn't heard Steele yell or be sarcastic, but agreed that Steele has asked improper argumentative questions. The judge also said he sustained objections to any improper questions, warns Steele to be mindful not to continue asking argumentative questions. that might make it seem like he's doing purposely just for the jury to hear, knowing the questions will be struck anyway. The parties are now discussing more exhibits. All right, let me see. Inner City Press. And Brian Still, they didn't have them stamped. So I guess these photos, the baby shower photos, are the photos that they just got this morning because they weren't stamped. So the defense isn't prepared again on this Monday. He said he just seen these photos, and I don't know where he thought he was going to go with bring the baby shower. Brian Still said, we want them if there's an appeal. The state's attorney said, we'll put them in the case file. That's how we handle it. Brian Still, I asked Mia, you still have friends? She said, I did not see them. I did not have external sounding boards. She what? He asked, do you still have friends? She said, I did not see them. I did not have an external sounding board. She said, there was there was no time. Yeah, I don't even know what the hell we're even talking about right now. So she didn't have any friends. She didn't have time to talk to anybody outside of work. This is where we're at, guys. I mean, we're piecing it together, man. The defense came unprepared today, but what you're gonna see on social media is they're not treating Diddy right. Judge, the problem is putting in the post. There are the problem is putting in the posts. They are not relevant and they are cumulative. You already spent a lot of time to the scrapbook. Please bring Mia back in. All right, Brian Steele. You and Cassie were best friends, fair. So this is Brian Steele's doing. We're doing all of this. Even the judge said you've been wasting time just asking these argumentative questions. So he's not defending anything. He's just asking questions. So why wouldn't you tell somebody? Now the judge said he wasn't yelling. I mean, he was being sarcastic, but he said he didn't see him yelling and actually harassing. But all the questions are just, when I move, you move. You know what I mean? Why'd you do this? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? You need to start defending Mr. Steele. This isn't the state case that you was in down there where they're incompetent. You need to start talking about the case. We got baby shower photos. Baby shower. What kind of cupcake did you get that day? A pink one or a blue one? Why? Why'd you get a blue one? The hell? All right, so Mia's back on the stand. Oh, man, they start Monday off terribly. Oh man, I'm over here with the wig on. I ain't official yet. My bad. Y'all ain't even let me know. I'm out of uniform. I don't feel comfortable. It's a beautiful day in the courtroom. A beautiful day in the courtroom. Won't you be my juror? It's a beautiful day in the courtroom. A beautiful day in the courtroom. A beautiful day in the courtroom. Won't you be my juror? I've been on the bench for 14 years and over the years I've seen people come and go. All right, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's a rough start today. So it's good that we kind of started late because we really just been sitting here and really haven't heard too much of anything. So that plays into our favor. You know, he works in mysterious ways. He ain't always on time, but he's always there when you call. Or is he always on time? All right. You and Cassie were best friends, fair? Mia said yes. You said she was your sister. Yes. You loved her. Absolutely. And you feel the same way today. Yes. Would you would never lie to her. Puff didn't allow me to tell her things like where he was, anything he said. Nah, you ain't missing nothing right now, Eric. The judge then got on Brian Steele because Brian Steele's asking pointless questions. Brian Steele's showing photos of baby showers. The judge said, what is the relevance of this? Get that out of here. Still like, we want to put that in, we want to put that in the file. So we do an appeal. They said, look, we'll just stuck it in the case file, man, because y'all ain't prepared. So right now we're just, I mean, nothing's going on right now. We're just Mia's on the stand, and right now she said she couldn't lie to Cassie, but that's it. I honestly don't know what's going on today. Puff didn't allow her to tell Cassie things of where he was, what he was doing, which is Mia continuing to confirm that Diddy had control over everything she did. All right, so you loved her. Yeah, today's a little slow, guys. Was Cassie in love with Diddy? I thought so. Did you ever tell her the person she loved R-word you? No. Do you remember telling Mr. Combs' brain needed to be rewired? May we have a sidebar? You may. What are we getting at, Mr. Steele? What are we getting at, Mr. Steele? Oh man. He probably gonna tell Brian Steele to hurry up. He keeps giving. We know that she loved Cassie. We've already heard last week that her and Cassie were like sisters. She still loves Cassie. She spoke to Cassie. Man, I'm trying to get into some action, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm trying to wake up. I'm over here down and out because I was actually working today at work, believe it or not. And now I'm over here reading the same stuff we read last week. But this is court, guys. This is court. What up, Trill? What up, Alma? We're just sitting around. We got another sidebar. We haven't got enough good information this morning for me to even go off on anything. Well, we're just sitting around, and that's the nature of the beast. Is Mia for real? For real? What you mean by is Mia for real? For real? Like, what you mean is she for real? For real? I mean, I don't know. I ain't seen no photos of anything that happened to Mia, but this is her testimony. I haven't, I haven't seen any photos of Mia or anything that happened to her, but I haven't heard the defense say that none of it happened. You know what I mean? You would think by now the defense would be saying when you was in that closet, you grabbed on Diddy and did that, but they haven't defended anything that she said that Diddy's done. When they were at the house, she did say, when they were at the house, Capricorn Clark said they was there, and Mia was at the house once they came back. Once Capricorn came back with Cassie, but we never heard them once say, "Did you see? You didn't see Diddy kicking Cassie after she came back." So, like, I haven't seen the defense do any defending of any crimes. What they have done is showed that Mia stayed around. And again, I'm not on either side. I don't care if he's innocent or guilty. I'm just here. I'm trying to take the defensive side and look at it from their lens, but I'm not seeing any defense. Discredit the witness, but it's not really discrediting the witness. It's, you and Cassie were friends. You would never lie to Cassie. Why didn't you tell people at the baby shower you were assaulted? Why didn't you tell family or friends that these things have happened? Instead of Diddy didn't do this, and this is why he didn't do it. You know what I mean? Mia is I'm terrible with names. Mia was a former assistant named Sarah. So you had Sarah the assistant, you had Capricorn Clark as the assistant. Mia, she got hit inside. She got was it Mia? Yeah, Mia. She got spaghetti thrown at her. She got hit in the head with an ice bucket. Diddy got on her ass when Swiss Beat was around. What else happened to her? She got R word on the plane, on the bunk bed. She got her mouth penetrated in the closet. She got a couple other things. Diddy was just on her ass. But I mean, that's with everybody. We see a reoccurring theme here. All right, they're back. All right, we got a little bit of action. Why would you cover up for Mr. Combs to Cassie? Why writing that Mr. Combs is just misunderstood? Objection, Your Honor. Rephrase it. Did you tell Cassie she needs to stay with Mr. Combs? I don't remember that. Okay, we must have a text message. Here we go. This is what we need. This is what we need. Do we got text messages? Look, everybody's saying it's the same thing. The defense is wasting time, still is struggling to get traction. Can the defense get to their point already? Them down here, we got some tea here. Like, I want to see the text message. Oh, she wasn't talking ish. She was defending him. No R victim defends their R word to their now girlfriend. All right, King. So this is why we don't get into these comments. Plus, Twitter is a wild place. Girl, you need to. It's not looking good for you right now. She's not on the stand. So one thing people gotta understand, these witnesses aren't the ones on trial here. So it's not looking good or it's looking good for them. Regardless of what they say, the evidence is against Diddy. So there's no looking good or no looking bad for them. They're just up here telling their story. So it's not like, no matter how quote unquote bad they look, nothing's happening to them. When they get off this stand, I won't forget what they said, but for the most part, we'll forget everything that they were talking about until, saying the closing arguments where they refresh everyone's memory. So for the witnesses, there's no looking good or looking bad. The only people that can look good or look bad are the prosecution or the defense, not the witnesses, because nothing's happening to them. The prosecution is trying to prosecute the defendant. The defense is trying to defend them. So those are the only people that can look bad. But there hasn't been any defense to show that Diddy is a good person. Let's see. Come on, man. Someone see it and give me some kind of update. Who is this? A former friend or a friend of Diddy. Sean Combs' long-term friend on why he thinks Diddy will testify. Diddy testifying will be the dumbest thing ever in this case. Diddy testifying will be the dumbest thing ever. Why? Because one, they have the evidence, and two, the defense is opening arguments where that Diddy is on drugs, which is one of the charges, distribution of drugs, and two, he was assaulting Cassie. They already admitted that. So that's going to fall up under intimidation, which they only got to prove two. And then with the extortion, because he was intimidating them, you know what I'm saying? And trying to get money not to put out a video. Like, Diddy testifying would be the dumbest thing, because they're just going to go over every single instance. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why did you beat Cassie that day? Why was there a free call? Why did you pay for this prostitute? So it's not gonna. That would be the dumbest thing for him to get up here. I hope that this dummy does, so we can get us some entertainment. But that would be stupid for him to take the stand. There's no way you can defend this shit. Plus, once we've seen it on camera, it's gonna be like, all right, well, now we got to talk to you. Why did you hit her over the head with the ice bucket? You see what I'm saying? So it's gonna be, you're gonna have to explain everything because the prosecution, if Diddy takes a stand, they're gonna take 2 days on this nigga, and they're gonna go over every single incident. Oh, why did you have the drugs here? Why did you have the? You see what I'm saying? That would be stupid. Like you're gonna have to admit to everything. Let's see what this friend got to say.
But you mentioned putting on the defense case. Do you think Diddy's going to testify? Do you have any idea of who might go and be on the stand?
I don't think you'd be able to keep him off of there.
Really?
Because I just don't think so. Because he's charismatic, he's smart, and he don't have nothing to hide. You don't have anything to hide.
Well, you know, with all the allegations that have come in, I have to tell you, I'm not sure how many more skeletons could allegedly be in one's closet than what has come out in terms of what they have alleged. And to that end, I have seen his family in court. I've seen his mother, his sister, his children, his daughters. Of course, his sons are there as well. I'm not the youngest among them. What has it been like for his children, some of whom lost their mother tragically just a few years ago?
Yeah, and I want people to take understand that as well. These are children, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the only living parent is Puff, right? They have to sit there maybe 10 feet, 15 feet away from their father. They can't hug him. They can't kiss him. They got to whisper to him and throw signs and stuff like that to show them that they love him. And you know, it's heartbreaking for the girls. He wasn't there for their graduation. Mm-hmm. He wasn't there for the prom. You know, he wasn't there to to send them off to school and none of that. So it's heartbreaking.
You know, I did have a conversation last night. We had Suge Knight on the program, and he was calling in from prison, and he was talking about, similarly, what you talked about, whether Diddy should testify. He seemed to think that it was in his best interest to testify. Otherwise, people would feel like he had something to hide. Now, obviously, the jurors are going to be instructed that you cannot hold against somebody who doesn't choose to testify.
Right.
But one thing he did say was he believed that Diddy would be okay because he thinks that President Trump would ultimately pardon him if he were convicted. President Trump was asked about that today, and if he would pardon Combs, and he didn't dismiss the idea. But if Combs is pardoned, do you think, if convicted, will the president pardon him?
I would hope that he do.
I'm about to look up who this guy is. Any of y'all heard of this producer? What songs this nigga got?
But you mentioned putting on the defense case. Do you have any?
I don't think he's smart, and he.
Diddy being smart ain't got nothing to do with this case. I'm about to look up Charlucci Finley. What song? Hey, someone name a song this dude produced, or is he just trying to, be a producer when Diddy get out? Ooh, did I say when Diddy get out? If Diddy get out. Who the fuck is Charlucci? All right, here we go. She said she don't remember telling Cassie to stay with Diddy. Mia said he could find out what I was telling her. How? Diddy has stolen my phone and Cassie's phone many times. He put tracking devices on her car. Her alone with Cassie. Yes. You sued Diddy for $10 million. Mia said it was a mitigation. My lawyers ended up getting $200,000. Brian Steele said, you got $200,000? Yes. Please look at the screen. Is that you? Is that you? Or is that your social media account? Looks at a text message. Sounds like me. Your text to Diddy. So we know that she sued. Remember, it's supposed to be 400,000, but she ended up getting 200,000 on the 400,000 they agreed upon. So she still hasn't seen the other half. Mia said she never told Cassie to leave Diddy in the way I wish I could have. She said she was very close with Cassie throughout her employment, but she was not allowed to tell the truth about things. Whatever story Diddy told me to tell, I had to uphold that. One of the worst parts was being put in the middle and having to cover for Diddy, which he forced me to do constantly. Defense attorney Brian still asked me if she ever told Cassie that she should leave Diddy. Not in that way. I wish I could have, Mia responded. Mia testified she never told Cassie she had to stay with Diddy, but said, I remember covering for him when he forced me to, and feeling terrible about it. However, if I didn't, I wouldn't have he would have taken it away from her. Mia testified she never mentioned any ex assault allegations against Diddy in the 2017 mitigation over her severance with Diddy. Defense attorney Brian still asked if she was aware of the Me Too movement at the time of the mediation. She testified she was not. So what Brian Steele is saying, when you were coming in here to get the money from being worked, you were suing for that $10 million, and then you guys had an agreement of $400,000. Brian Steele is saying when you were in there negotiating from that 10 million down to 400,000, which is crazy. There's no way I'm dropping from 10 million to 400,000. You're gonna have to meet me somewhere in the middle, like at 8. You got to meet me somewhere at 8 and no lower than 5. There's no way I'm going from 10 million to 400,000, especially not no settlement outside of court. No. If we settling, I'm gonna need at least 5. But Brian Steele is saying when this was going on, when you were trying to get this money, your severance package, you're supposed to go in there and say that Diddy R-word you. That's not what you were there for, but you're supposed to go in there. Diddy assaulted me. That's what Brian Steele is saying. You're going in there for a severance for work where the victim wanted to put all of that behind her and just get her money and separate herself from Bad Boy. That's when she was supposed to go in there. I want this. But you never know, man. Like I say, man, it's a victim. They can take whatever amount of time they want. It is what it is. Do I believe you should say it earlier? Yeah, but if you ain't prepared to say it, then I mean, that's on you. You know what I mean? Can't no one tell you when you need to speak up for yourself. That's why people say you need to stand up for yourself, but no one can make you stand up for yourself. So whenever you get the courage to go and do it, you do it. But Brian's still saying she should have done that when they was in the mitigation to try to get that $10 million in the severance package, which got dropped to 400,000 and only got paid half of. So she's supposed to go in there like, objection, Your Honor. Well, tell Diddy's lawyers. No, he also R-worded me. Uh, 15 minutes ago. All right. I don't remember sending this. You are in a tutu. You are in a tutu, and Mr. Diddy, Diddy appears to be holding his private parts. In Miss Ventura's lawsuit, she alleged extra abuse. Yes. Why did you still communicate with Diddy? Objection, Your Honor. Sustained. Brian Steele, you need to be defending why was Diddy holding his private part in a picture of her with a tutu? They about to make Brian Steele work for this check, ain't he? But we're gonna see where this goes. Yeah, they asked Mia last week about this photo. But it wasn't Brian. It wasn't. Was it Brian's last week? All right, so we got an objection, and I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. What? Sorry, guys. I thought it was gonna be a little live on this Monday morning. We got an objection, so I guess still is gonna have to rephrase it. Well, until then, we are here, huh? What is it? 5:48. So this is probably gonna take till 6 o'clock, which is noon, and then we'll probably go to lunch. So it doesn't look like Brian still really has much more because he said he was gonna have Mia up here till about lunch. But if this is all he's doing, I don't know, man. Like, be real. Like I say, take away your bias. If you're the jury and you're hearing this, is any of this like defending, like proving that Diddy didn't commit crimes, like ex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution? If you're listening to this, like what Brian still is going through, and he's talking about not lying to Cassie, not telling somebody that this happened. Even if the ex assault didn't happen, it was still, she said there was drugs. There's all kinds of other stuff. The forced labor, which is the 400,000 that he brought up, where she only got 200,000 out of it. Why would Diddy settle for that if he wasn't guilty of it? I know you just settle so you can get stuff over with, but you should have, I don't know, you should have went in and said they paid you this money, more money than what you are deserving, because Diddy had a big heart. So he wanted to go ahead and settle and give you more than what you were actually owed. He said, if I'm the jury, I don't know shit about the law. All I know is this man does some wild shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When they get to the end, they're gonna tell this is what he's guilty of. This is what he's charged with, and then they're going to give examples of what he did. And the only thing the jury is supposed to do is judge it off if he committed those crimes. So her not telling Cassie that something happened, what's that got to do with the crime? Did they prove that the crime didn't happen? Or did they prove that she didn't tell Cassie everything? Did they prove that she wasn't being assaulted in front of people? Because she's naming off people. If they really wanted to, they could bring Swiss Beats in and ask Swiss Beats, did you see her get attacked when the Wi-Fi went out and he told her to call Bill Gates? You see what I'm saying? There's like, that's all they're going to tell the jury is the prosecution is going to tell her, hey, don't worry about all that, the emotions and them staying in contact with him. Think about the crimes. And then the defense is going to say Diddy was a good guy. These people all stuck around because he wasn't doing the things that they said he did. There is that one video, and we did say that Diddy, when he gets on those drugs, he do be wilding out. And this is nothing more than a toxic relationship where Diddy beats the hell out of people. But the defense said it was nothing more than a toxic relationship. But Capricorn Clark and Mia both were telling us that it was more than just the relationship getting assaulted. So if Mia's getting assaulted, what's that got to do with your defense that Diddy just gets on drugs and it was a toxic relationship? Because he wasn't in a relationship with Mia. Okay. What up, Jay Brooks? It's a RICO. They have to prove the RICO. Oh, proving the RICO is easy. Proving the RICO is easy. We already got three people. This is how you prove the RICO real quick and real easy. You start off with the extortion. You bring in Cassie's mother. You got the evidence of the wire transfer. And we also know that Mia said it and Cassie both said it, plus the mama said it. Regina, they all three had the same story. Diddy was threatening to release photos and videos of Cassie. Then she got the email that said wire transfer this to Bad Boy Records. That's $20,000. There goes the extortion. Then up under the RICO charges also, even though there's 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution falls up under the RICO also. We also have multiple escorts that got up here and said they were flown to different states and were paid by Diddy. So that would be easy to prove the RICO, in my opinion. But I'm not a lawyer. I'm a doctor. All right, here we go. We got some action. Did you meet with these prosecutors in January 24? I may have. I don't remember the timing. Did you tell Diddy actually assaulted you? I don't remember when I told them. Did you get a lawyer? Yes. The lawyer who had 45 days earlier obtained an enormous judgment. Objection, Your Honor. Sustained. Look at Brian Steele. Look at Brian Steele. What does her lawyer getting a large judgment got to do with Diddy on trial? What does her lawyer getting an enormous judgment got to do with Diddy being on trial? See, Brian Steele's trying to bring in all this other stuff. That ain't got nothing to do with Diddy. What her lawyer did, whatever that judgment was, is what that lawyer did. That ain't got nothing to do with this case. Hey, Brian Steele, he's trying. We're talking about he's not defending anything, but shit. If you can just throw some confusions and some come on, phone, I ain't say nothing. If you could throw some confusion in there and distract people, fuck it. Brian Steele, like, I'm bringing up everything I know, and we're just gonna throw it out there. So there was an objection to that because it didn't have anything to do with it. Sustained. Brian Steele said, why did you hire her? Objection, Your Honor. Sustained. Let's move on. Nigga, because I needed a lawyer, Brian. Why did Diddy hire you? Because he needed a lawyer, Brian. Why did Diddy hire 9 lawyers for this case, Brian? Because he needed lawyers. Why else would I hire a fucking lawyer? Hey, I'm about to go to court. Should I hire a lawyer or try to do that shit on my own? Come on, Brian. What do you mean? Why did you hire her? Because I needed a lawyer for court, Brian. Why did Young Thug hire you, Brian? Because he needed a lawyer for court, Brian. What are lawyers for, Brian? Legal issues, Brian. Why did you hire her? Because I needed a fucking lawyer, Brian. I needed a lawyer, Brian. All right, you only first alleged the ex assault in June of 24. Let's see. I don't remember the timing of things. The rest I can't go into. I understand his privilege. Objection, Your Honor. That's this thing. Let's have a side. Golly, bruh. Brian, why did you take Diddy's case? Because he needed a lawyer, Brian. Why did you hire a lawyer for court? Nigga, because I needed a lawyer, Brian. Like, oh my goodness. Well, I mean, hey, he's trying. I give him credit. Like, again, I'm just talking shit. Whether they're doing good or bad, I mean, it really don't matter to me because I ain't up there. I know my boy Cecil Williams gets me out of all the cases when I'm back in Kansas City, but shit, that's different. Like, I put Cecil Williams up there above Brian Steele, but that's it. That's Mr. Cecil Williams. You know what I mean? He different. You know what I'm saying? No convictions over here, no felonies over here. You know what I mean? We get everything dropped and dismissed. Sent them birthday messages. That's the same thing that we already talked about. She don't remember the date. Mia testified she definitely did not tell them before she had a lawyer. Brian suggests Mia didn't tell the prosecutors about the ex assault allegations until June of 24. Again, I don't remember the dates, but I do remember that horrible conversation Mia testified. All right. All right, we got the sidebar. That's where we're at. We got a lot of sidebars today. I think we got 4 sidebars already and about 8 objections. This is the most objections and sidebars we had, and this is even before lunch. So they're probably about to go to a break with right here, or they're going to ask Mr. Steele how much time you got left, and then he'll probably say blah blah blah. And they might work through lunch a little bit so the prosecution can have their redirect and then go to lunch. That's what it's been seeming like. The judge is trying to get the witness in before like a large break, like going into lunch or whatever. So that's where we're at right now. We just got a sidebar. He's probably asking Brian Steele, hey, ask some questions about the trial. You gonna ask questions about the trial, Brian? All right, well, we sitting around, we kicking it off. I might have to go get me what you guys think of Judge Sips, tea or coffee? I'm not really a big coffee drinker, so I might go. I ain't got no tea either. I would do it truly, but I don't think I need to be doing that while I'm up here on the bench. All right, they're back. Still, let's talk about Prince's party. You said you had no permission to go there, but you knew many people who knew Diddy would be there. Rephrase that. Rephrase that. Oh no, I ain't drinking no Remy during the week now. I don't drink during the week, only on Fridays. Rephrase that. Brian Still said, "Did you wear a disguise?" No. Brian Still said, "Any photos of Cassie?" No. All right, so we're about to get to the Prince party. Hey, what's the over? Do we think that he's going to say that Diddy didn't show up to the party, or are we going to say? Because remember, this is the one that they're about to go back to the room after this. This is the Prince party. This is the one where Diddy showed up. This is the one where Diddy showed up, and Prince's security stopped Diddy from whooping on Cassie. So do we think he's going to defend and say that Diddy didn't snatch her up and Cassie went willingly? Because remember, the story is when they were at Prince's party, Diddy showed up and they seen Cassie, and Diddy tried to snatch Cassie up, but Prince's security stopped it. So or do we think that Brian Steele's about to defend this, or he's just going to bring it up, her being there, and we had to rephrase it because you knew many people that knew Diddy was going to be there. He had to rephrase that. So did you wear a disguise? Or is he just going to say that you were there and you weren't supposed to be there, but you had a good time and Diddy showed up and Cassie left? Because I don't know. We're going to see. But they said security stopped Diddy from wilding out. Nah, man, I ain't getting on that yet. Maybe this Friday, though. We can definitely do that. I had to buy another bottle, though. Saturday night, I had me a little sippy sip also. All right. Let's see. Are they going to get into Diddy snatching Cassie up? Or is Brian still going to jump over this and not defend what happened at Prince's party? Knowing me, I'm thinking Brian Steele isn't going to elaborate on this Prince party. Why? Because we already heard what happened and how it ended up in the room. You remember they ended up leaving? Yeah. So let's see. Do we got any new updates? All right. So it says, let's talk about Prince's party. You said you had no permission to go there, but you knew many people who knew Diddy were going to be there. Rephrase that. Did you wear a disguise? No. Any photos of Cassie? No. You say you and Cassie got onto a paddleboard in the storm. I can't see no defense out there. Hey, Brian Steele, why you hop over Prince's security stopping Diddy from wilding out? Defend the nigga. Brian, defend Diddy. Don't jump to the paddleboard where they paddled out into the middle of the storm and had to turn around and defend it. Damn, I thought the defense was about to defend Diddy. You know, the jury's like, wait a minute, I thought something happened at Prince's party. Diddy came and snatched her up, and security stopped, and then that's when they went back to the room, and Mia jumped on his back. Oh. Don't tell me Brian's still scared to do some defending. So he said, you and Cassie got on a paddleboard into a storm. Yes. Any recording of that? No. Any note or text message to prove it happened? I don't think so. We were on a paddleboard. Did you make it up? No. I was on a paddleboard yesterday. if I don't tell you guys what I'm about to tell you, no one would ever know. But I didn't write it down or document it. And if I didn't get on this live, none of y'all would have ever known that Saturday there was a storm here. My dog Trill, his power went out. I was down at it's not a Home Depot, but I was down at a store that's kind of like a Home Depot, and I was trying to pick up these things, the little pigeon spikes, because the pigeons are flying down and they starting to ish all over my damn patio furniture. So I'm trying to put these spikes up on my wall. But it was a storm then, and I got stuck in the store, and I couldn't go outside for like 15 to 20 minutes. And when I came back home, the power had shut off. Well, my internet did. And then I came back home. But y'all would have never known that. I didn't document it. But I got stuck in a storm on Saturday. Like, what are we doing? I don't remember the timing of that. Like, you said you had no time with family. Did you ever go to events with your family and friends sporadically over 8 years, but few and far between? Weddings, my sisters and my best friends, I believe. Halloween, I don't remember. Brian still said, you had times with others, right? I had to be in communication 24/7. I was never outside his grip. Outside of the work environment, why couldn't you explain the abuse you say you were experiencing? It's more complicated than that. Isn't it true that other than a few times Mr. Combs was violent with Cassie, which is never okay, you were comfortable with Mr. Combs? You have to rephrase that. You never advised Miss Ventura to leave him. No. So Brian Steele is a part of the defense who said it was a toxic relationship. And then says here, isn't it true that other than a few times Diddy was violent with Cassie? So now we know that this happened and he confirmed it for us, which is never okay. You were comfortable with Mr. Combs. So you're saying that Diddy was comfortable with Cassie. I mean, Diddy was violent with Cassie, but she stuck around. So that's the same reason Diddy was violent with Mia. She stuck around. Brian, you're proving that Diddy was whooping people's asses and they stuck around out of fear. Why would you put that in the same sentence? Isn't it true that other than a few times that Diddy was violent, you were comfortable and didn't tell Cassie to leave? So you're telling us that Cassie stuck around even though that Diddy was violent. So what makes it hard to believe that Mia didn't stick around even though Diddy was violent? Because isn't it true, Brian? Isn't it true that's what you just said? So you confirm that she did witness these things? And you're confirming that Cassie stuck around even though it got violent? So what makes you think if Cassie would do it, someone else wouldn't do it? Now, he said, isn't it true other than a few times? So she was not on, Mia was not in that video footage. So he's talking about confirmed times that she was around. And my thing is, if you know that Cassie would stick around when this was happening and didn't tell anybody, then what makes it so hard to believe that someone else, Mia, for example, wouldn't stick around if the same thing is happening? No, I agree with you, Danny. But yeah, you can hear them damn pigeons because I put up some little spike strips, but these motherfuckers be trying to land over there, and all you hear, pap, 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 pap. So that's why when you see me getting up is because they landing like right at the top of my thing, and it's a whole bunch of them. I hit one of them with a flip flop Saturday, but that's what I was going to buy, these spikes. But I got to tell my landlord I need you to bring a ladder because this wall is like fucking 20 feet high. You know what I mean? I'm not about to try to cliff hang onto the side, had a thing in my mouth, and then put the spikes up there holding on with one hand, and the pigeons start attacking me. So that's what that is. Danley said the same fear. Exactly. See, all right, my bad, Danley. I was reading that wrong. I was reading that. We on the same page. But yeah, it's like, so you're telling us that Diddy was violent with Cassie, and you're admitting that it happened more than just that one time. So if it could happen to Cassie and she stick around, and Cassie never told anybody besides the people that are in this small circle, in the mother, like, then what makes you think the same thing wasn't happening to Mia? So you looking at this like, man, this dude had a lot of power. Let's continue on. Until 2024, you never told anyone you were ex-abused, unless it was my privileged therapist. That's true. Could you waive that privilege? Objection, Your Honor. You getting out of line, Brian. You're disrespecting this courthouse here today. I see what you like. You like pushing boundaries. She talked to her therapist. Matter of fact, let me ask you something, Mr. Brian. Would you waive your client attorney privilege and tell us if Diddy is innocent or guilty? Would you waive that today and tell us if Diddy committed these crimes? This nigga Brian gonna say, would you waive your privilege with your therapist and tell us what was going on in doing your... Really, Brian? Really? She said, unless it was to my privileged therapist. That's true. Could you waive that privilege? If she waives that privilege, then that means that therapist can tell everything. No, Brian, she's not gonna waive that privilege. Like, come on, man. What up, Dannon? So you said you had a therapist. Would you waive those privileges to tell us what was going on? Like, no, Brian, no. All right, man. Brian's trying, but I don't know, man. I guess it's tough to do when you got somebody that's looking guilty. Let me see. Objection. Oh, wait. Objection, move on. You joined the Me Too money grab against Mr. Combs. Objection, Your Honor. We don't know what the judge said there. You knew Cassie received money from her lawsuit against Mr. Combs. Mia said it was public. But did you speak with Cassie? Never about anything I discussed with the government. How will we know that? Objection, Your Honor. Sustained. Brian Steele, let me show you documents. Read it to yourself. And Your Honor, could we have a sidebar? Golly. Hey, Brian Steele wilding out. So you know it was Me Too was the money grab against Diddy, right? So you just wanted to get in. Did you talk to Cassie about the money? Nigga, the reason we all know about this is because of the Cassie lawsuit, nigga. What are you talking about? None of us, she's friends with Cassie. If all of us regular folk heard that Cassie was dropping a lawsuit on Diddy and he settled within 24 hours, everybody that's in the inner circle is going to know about this. He talking about, how will we know you didn't talk to her about that? Nigga. How will we know that Diddy ain't tell you he did this shit, Brian? Huh? Yeah, we have the... I don't know, man. He's a good lawyer. It's just, if we're being honest, just from us, if you have a client that is, you got stuff on video footage and everybody's seen it, and then you're hearing all these other stories and everyone's having the same story from their own perspective, it's kind of hard to defend that. And that's why I was asking, do we think that he was going to defend the Prince party, or defend her getting hit in the head with an ice bucket, defend her being in the closet, Diddy coming in there, her being on the bunk bed, Diddy doing that, them being on the plane, Diddy doing that? But it's kind of hard to defend that stuff because once you start elaborating on it, then more details are going to come out about it. So you kind of just want to tiptoe around, and it's like he's just trying to poke holes. So he's doing the best he can with this cross, but it's tough when, like, he had to admit, like, yeah, Diddy was getting violent. So it's like, damn, okay, well, we already said that Diddy was getting violent, but Cassie was sticking around. And he said that that's never okay to get violent with somebody. So that right there is already going against his defendant, because that was your, that was your argument statements that it was a toxic relationship. He get on drugs. So if he's getting physical and violent with her and she's sticking around, so it's like everything he's admitting to, like, damn, I don't want to go into too much detail on that. I guess he's doing the best he can. Maybe the jury, you never know. Maybe some of the jury is hearing this stuff and it isn't clear to them, and they're just like, well, why did she stick around? You know what I mean? Because that's what it's going to come down to. It's not on us. Hold on. Man. See, they trying to build nest up there, man. Shit. All right, man. We're back. We just here. We got another sidebar. So I'm thinking this is probably like 8 sidebars and 10, probably 15 and 10. Jury's dismissed for lunch till 12:50. All right, so we got about 40 minutes. Well, no, we got like 30 minutes. All right, we got like 30 minutes before they return back. We got a sidebar. Jurors can leave. Judge Tamia, when you come back, you will be shown documents. Have a good break. Mark said, we'll talk to the government over the break about the witness. The witness's lawyer. The judge said, okay. All right, I mean, whew. All right, we're on a break, guys. All right, I mean, that's what we got right now. Moochie, you in here? Yeah, that was a tough morning, wasn't it? We didn't really get anything. I mean, we got repetitive questions, the paddleboard. As far as the paddleboard goes, I am interested to know how far out did they paddleboard. And I wish they would have told us what resort they were staying at so we can go look at the beach and, you know what I'm saying, start to map it out a little bit. But they didn't give us none of that information. We haven't been getting any good information as far as like locations since maybe week 2.